1989 in the WWE. What did we see? What did we see from the WWE back in 1989? And I'm not saying that it was a terrible year for the WWE as far as characters, storylines is concerned, but you have got to be kidding me about some of the stuff they did. I mean, seriously. No holds barred. You remember that movie, right? Well, they took the movie and put it right into the matches. You remember Zeus? 1989, WWE and Vince McMahon introduced Zeus to us. And SummerSlam, the epic main event tag team matchup, Bruce the Barber Beefcake and Hulk Hogan taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage and the Human Wrecking Machine, the Human Wrecking Ball, Zeus. Good storyline, good storytelling leading into the matchup. But as far as the match is concerned, what an epic flop mess. We're going to dive into that in just a little bit. All that, plus so much more the WWE gave to us, including a huge year-long story between the Heenan family and the Ultimate Warrior over the Intercontinental Championship. Ravishing Rick Rude and the Ultimate Warrior, along with everybody else that was invested into the Heenan family. Andre the Giant, eventually Mr. Perfect, Haku, the Brainbusters, all of them. We all saw them get invested in this rivalry throughout 1989. But as far as SummerSlam and WrestleMania is concerned, in 1989, Ravishing Rick Rude was in the rivalry. And at WrestleMania, Ravishing Rick Rude took the Intercontinental Championship from the Ultimate Warrior. The rematch set for SummerSlam. We'll dive into that as well, amongst all the other matches that happened on this card at the 1989 SummerSlam. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on my other two social media websites, Facebook and Twitter. That'd be much appreciated at 2007 Webby. A lot of hard work and fun goes into this channel for you wrestling fans. Vlogs, classic reviews of not only SummerSlam, there's King of the Ring classic reviews. There's some WrestleMania classic reviews, Survivor Series, all on the channel right now. And plus, you know, Raw and SmackDown Live, and of course the reviews and preview and predictions of the pay-per-views each and every week. Plus, top fives from time to time, amongst other things. Go and check it out. A lot of fun goes into it for you wrestling fans. But now, the 1989 SummerSlam. Oh boy. The Brainbusters took on the Hart Foundation. This match, this contest, I'm still questioning why this wasn't for the tag team championships. I'm really questioning that. Brainbusters, WWF tag team champions, should have been putting the titles on the line. There's no question in my mind about that. This was a non-title matchup. Didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It was a great opening contest, but the title should have been on the line. Brainbusters go over here. Now, In my eyes, okay, non-title matchup. Brainbusters took on the Hart Foundation. Hart Foundation should have won this contest. That way they could have gotten a title shot later on down the road. I understand why they did not win in this matchup because Demolition ended up getting the titles back soon after this, before the Survivor Series. But it would have made sense. It would have made for an intriguing gap between the time Demolition got their titles back for the Brainbusters and Hart Foundation to have that little rivalry in between. That's just me. Dusty Rhodes versus the Honky Tonk Man. It was a goof matchup, honestly. Shucking and jiving Dusty Rhodes taking on WWE's Elvis Presley Honky Tonk Man, honestly. And Honky Tonk Man loses this contest because Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart hits him with his own guitar. And then a big elbow, and Dusty Rhodes shucks and jives his way to victory. Congratulations to the American Dream. The Red Rooster takes on Mr. Perfect. Not a lot to say about this matchup here because, quite frankly, it didn't last very long. Red Rooster wasn't going to beat Mr. Perfect here. Mr. Perfect had a perfect record, and Red Rooster really wasn't the person or character, quite frankly, to defeat Mr. Perfect. One thing I am going to bring up about the 1980s and early 90s, you ever notice how much they just enjoyed and loved tag team wrestling? And how much they were invested in their tag team wrestling? Now, some of you might say, well, on this card, they had these 2 6-man tag team matches so they could get everybody on the show. Because you know how WWE does with their pay-per-views. I understand that. But when you look at the 6-man tag team matches, they are tag teams in it with just one other single competitor on the team with them. It wasn't like they were just throwing in 6 singles competitors on each tag team match. Really enjoyed that, giving the tag teams a chance to shine. You had the Rockers, you had the Fabulous Rougeaus, you had Demolition, you had the Twin Towers, all of them. Chances to shine. Piece of the pie. Really enjoyed that. In the first 6-man tag team match, you had the Rockers and Tito Santana taking on Rick Martel and the Fabulous Rougeaus. Now, the Rockers and the Fabulous Rougeaus, they were having a little rivalry, but mostly they were just put together because, quite frankly, they needed some a chance to shine and give some work to do. Tito Santana and Rick Martel, on the other hand, that was a big rivalry for this matchup because at WrestleMania, Rick Martel turned his back on Tito Santana, Strikeforce, and they were continuing this rivalry onto SummerSlam. So, very understand that, them being on separate teams for this matchup and trying to battle it out. But Rick Martel and Fabulous Rougeaus pick up the victory here. The Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude, in which he called everybody in attendance SummerSlam sweat hogs. Well, he was really good at making the crowd hate him. He was really good. One of the best. But anyway, Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude. This match, was the end, really, of Warrior and Rude's rivalry. And soon after, Warrior and Andre the Giant picked up. And Ravishing Rick Rude and Rowdy Roddy Piper, their rivalry picked up for the Survivor Series because Piper cost Rude the Intercontinental Championship, mooning him. He mooned him, and next thing you know, Warrior picks up the advantage, and the match is over. But it was a good contest before that happened. Very intriguing contest, very intriguing storyline, and it led for some good things going into the fall and winter months of 1989. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, or King Duggan, as they called him in 1989, and Demolition took on the Twin Towers and the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. Now you look at this matchup and you're thinking, oh, that's a guaranteed. Twin Towers, Akeem, and the Big Boss Man, and Andre the Giant going to automatically pick up the victory, right? You got 500, and you got over 1,000 pounds right there in one tag team, No, not when you have Hacksaw Jim Duggan and his trusty 2x4, 4x4, to save the day at the very end to waffle the Twin Towers and help Demolition cover for the victory. And that's exactly what happened. But not much else to say about this contest. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, King Duggan, and Demolition pick up the victory in the 6-man tag team. Greg the Hammer Valentine took on the mighty Hercules. If it wasn't for Rugged Ronnie Garvin being the special guest ring announcer, there wouldn't be any substance to this match. There wouldn't be any reason to talk about this match. Because Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Greg the Hammer Valentine was having a rivalry at the time. And they pretty much just got into it. And Rugged Ronnie Garvin punched Greg the Hammer Valentine in the face after Rugged Ronnie Garvin got knocked down off the ropes. Before Rugged Ronnie Garvin made fun of Greg the Hammer Valentine during the entire entrance, all that jazz. So, it was a nothing match. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase took on Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Now, what I noticed about the $1 Million Man, at least back at pay-per-views, because this happened at WrestleMania and it happened at SummerSlam. They both ended count out. I have no idea why they had to make $1 Million Man's finishes like that all the time. Now, they did it to protect Superfly Jimmy Snuka in this point and give $1 Million Man the victory. Kind of saying, well, $1 Million Man can't defeat the Superfly by submission or by pinfall. He has to cheat his way, a cheap victory. But, whatever. I'm not a big fan of count-out victories or disqualification victories all the time, especially back in this era, because, quite frankly, they were just lousy. how they were booked, honestly. And in the main event, as I said earlier, Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake took on Zeus, the human wrecking ball, the human wrecking machine, and the Macho Man Randy Savage. This was a match that happened here. It was put on the back burner. Our Man got in control of Zeus for the Survivor Series. And after the Survivor Series, when the movie came out, we had a big steel cage matchup with all four of them inside the steel cage. And it was a rematch. And it was Macho Man, Zeus, and Hogan and Brutus inside the steel cage. But as far as this match is concerned, it was horrible. If you're a person that just likes inside the wrestling ring, you're not big on storylines, it was miserable. But what do you expect? I'm a fan of Hulk Hogan's. Okay, as far as wrestling wise, but his wrestling, I don't care if you're a fan of his or not, is very formulaic. Beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down, Hulk up, victory. Tag team matchup, beat down, beat down, beat down. Brutus comes in, beat down, Hulk Hogan, beat down, Hulk up, use foreign object, power slam, victory. And some other jumbled up mess with it. Sherry coming in, getting tossed inside by Elizabeth. But that was the gist of the match. It was a big jumbled up mess. And honestly, I understand promoting the No Holds Barred match movie that was supposed to be absolutely awesome. But I think you could have done it in a better way than sticking Zeus in matches. Because Zeus, and this is just in my perspective, brought the match quality down in these. He did. That's just my opinion. But overall, when you look at SummerSlam 1989, you have to give it C+, B. C+ or B. It was about an average show. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest. But it wasn't a miserable, terrible show either. It was kind of average. And it wasn't 6 hours long either. It was 2 hours and 30-something minutes. And it had a very odd commentators mix. It had Tony Schiavone and Jesse the Body Ventura. So color commentating was kind of odd couple, honestly. But that changed after that SummerSlam. After that SummerSlam, we started seeing more of Vince McMahon and Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan and all of them. We didn't see Jesse Abadi after that SummerSlam or Tony Schiavone. So anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. This has been your 1989 SummerSlam review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share, everything else I mentioned at the beginning. And I'll see you tomorrow for another classic SummerSlam review. It'll be my last one before the big day, the big SummerSlam, where Brock Lesnar, the Beast, takes on Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe takes on AJ Styles. But until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.